All right. What is up, everybody? We're back at it again with Boros Ponza, but this time I I might have cooked a little bit too much. We're gonna find out. I had a shower thought of realizing that the blue-red lessons decks are using improvisation capstone to grind out Golgari. I've been looking closely at some of the MTGO challenge results, and Golgari is actually on a huge decline. And I think that that is partly because all of the Izzet decks are now running this capstone to grind them out. Basically, if you resolve this against Golgari, you win the game. They're powering it out using the Tablet of Discovery. This lets you tap for 2 mana for instant and sorcery spells, and when it enters, you mill a card and you can play that card. So if you mill something that you can play with double red, then you can just use the tablet to essentially have costed 1 mana to draw a card. This card, Tablet of Discovery, plays very well with Cleansing Wildfire and Price of Freedom. It makes 2 red mana. You can spend the 2 red mana to destroy something. Yo, Batfish, what's up? I might have cooked a little bit with this one. We're running Tablet of Discovery with, and then so Tablet of Discovery also lets us cast Igneous Inspiration and make this card look not terrible. It's not great being a 3 mana do 3 damage to any target plus learn, but it's a lot more reasonable with Tablet of Discovery in the deck. Yeah, my thought process was this is what the Izzet decks are doing, is using the tablet to power out the capstone, and capstone is crazy in this deck. I did a little bit of testing with it yesterday and absolutely smoked Golgari, and it should also just beat 5-color Niv if we resolve this. We're cutting our other grindy packages with the enchantments we were playing yesterday, the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki and the Legend of Roku, and wanted to do some more testing. Actually ran into 3 Selesnya Hate Bears in a row yesterday. Uh-oh. That deck won in Historic twice in Pioneer. Hopefully I think that's a pretty bad matchup for us. I played it last night, that Selesnya Hate Bears matchup, and yeah, they literally reprinted Thalia. Yeah, Thalia's annoying. I am so sick of Archon. Oh, it's just, and the combination of Archon plus the guy that exiles a spell and then plots it. Oh, I forgot the name of that one. Yeah, it's so brutal. And they play it for this deck, they play enough basics to not care. I think we're just hoping to dodge that matchup. All right. Game 1, match 1. Starting it off with a mulligan. This hand would be really good if we had any colored source. Oh, yeah, or the ooze. or Orphid. All right, let's mull. All right, this hand is a keepable 6. It's not great. It's pretty slow. We're hoping not to see a Soul Scar Mage or a Swift Spear on turn 1. Yeah, that ooze is ridiculous, and the version I played against was on the Michelangelo's card as well to All right, what's going on here? This creature becomes a human cleric with base power and toughness. 2/2. If it's a cleric, put a death touch. Okay. I don't think we're too scared of this card. Yeah, but playing the Michelangelo's card too, so they just had 8 collected company effects. And that second one can get 4 drops, I believe. Yeah, that deck is super annoying. I'm not even sure what its bad matchups are. All right, we get Thought Seized. They are on a 1-lander. So let's get this Sunken Citadel down on white. And we can blow up this Blooming Marsh next turn. All right, they find a second land. Do they have another Thoughtseize to take our Ultima? No, they... Sorry, what is this? Oh, is this like Golgari Demons? That's kind of cool. We drew an Igneous Inspiration. Let's cast this and grab a Price of Freedom. So next turn we can go after 2 of their lands and start to see how many basics they're on. All right, they have second Evolved Sweeper. And they're going to evolve one of these. We have this Ultima in hand. We'll see if they have exactly Thoughtseize this turn. All right, so let's go Demolition Field on the Blooming Marsh. Get a Plains here. All right, they get a Swamp. And because we have Demolition Field plus Field of Ruin in hand, play the Field of Ruin first, so if we draw an Erode, we can cast it. Let's go after the Swamp with this Price of Freedom. All right, they level up the second Evolved Sweeper. They know about this Ultima, so we're looking to dodge Thoughtseize this turn. All right, they just level up. They don't have the Thoughtseize, so we just get to sweep the board here. And we can get this Quarry down. Yeah, let's just blow this up. We have drawn about 1 million lands. They have third Evolved Sweeper. All right, let's Cleansing Wildfire Forest here and see. Yeah, so and then we can have double red. So Cleansing Wildfire Forest. They could... Oh, also search up Blue-Eyed Merfolk by Badfish. All right. Oh, they're... Okay, all right, we win. They're out of basics. Go Hellkite on this last Llanowar. Wastes, and that should be the concession. That might destroy the Hate Bears list. Yeah, what is Hate Bears just weak to creature decks? All right, are we getting salt roped on the first match of the day? Oh, MTG Goldfish. Oh, spelled your name wrong. All right, looks like we are getting salt roped on game 1 or match 1, game 1 of the day. Trying to figure out Goldfish's website here. Sorry. All right, cards, decks. User submitted decks probably. Yeah, creature decks and tempo can really wreck Hate Bears. So can various control decks. Man, come on, opponent. All right, find decks. All right, opponent is back. And they are going with the full salt rope technique. All right, name. Is the name of the deck Blue-White Merfolk? I wonder, can you search? Can you search by name? No, that's deck search. Is opponent back yet? Opponent is not back yet. Man, they're they are fully tilted. Oh, here we go. All right, and opponent concedes. Do you think Fading Hope is better than what's the card that I can never remember the name of it. The one that Phoenix runs that has Gift of Fish. One land, we have to mulligan this. All right, we're going to keep this. Put back the Tablet of Discovery. Yeah, I think even with Drum to... I think the biggest thing with these creature decks is you have to cheat on mana in some way. And Springleaf Drum is just the best way to do that in Pioneer. All right, we need to hit a land next turn or we're super dead. Do they have Monument? All right, they have the Monument. Sorry, what is this? All right, we don't find a land. We're pretty dead, I think. Fading Hope, return. Yeah, no, this looks solid. Oh, wow, what is going on? Oh, okay, do they have the full combo? They unearth the scrap heat, scrap work mutt. Do they have the tree? I think we're getting tree. Get in for 5. All right, no land. We probably scoop it up here. But they, whenever one or more cards. All right, so we can kill this. All right. We're not technically dead. All right, we take 3. We're already down to 8. They have another hardened academic. Yeah, we're just dead. Yeah, the only thing that I think the other... Like, you're probably right. The Scry 1 is really nice in an aggro deck. The only thing I'm thinking is the benefit of being able to bounce. Like, there's a lot of enchantments going around right now. Being able to bounce, like, an Unholy Annex or a Monument of Endurance is a nice upside, but Scry 1 is also really good. Okay, against this deck, I don't think we're bringing in Rest in Peace. Light of Hope doesn't actually destroy their combo pieces. They're running all artifacts. Wow, are we just resubmitting? I guess so. Yeah, that's what all the creatures you run are for. Yeah, just attacking. No, I think the list as is, I think, is really solid. I kind of want to play this. All right, you go first. All right, we actually have removal and ways to kill their lands this time. So let's play this Sundown Pass first to guarantee that we can fire off a Cleansing Wildfire on turn 2. Oh yeah, I love stuff that counters Coco. The Skittering Kitten. Oh, we really need to hit our third land here. So we do let them untap with this. All right, they have at least 2 mountains. I'm assuming. All right, they have the Hardened Academic. We take 3. We don't draw land. I think it's too risky here to fire off the Cleansing Wildfire first, so let's just start killing their creatures. Can put stun counter, shuffle them back in, and have the option. Is this? Oh my god, yeah, I totally missed the synergy of returning your own creatures. All right, let's kill this in response so they can't get any value. Yeah, Trish with all the Lords is a menace to society. All right, so they get a loot, they get a monument, but they... All right, we wouldn't have drawn the land. All right, hopefully we hit a land at some point. All right. I have a feeling this is their last basic. Casey Jones, look at the top 4. You may reveal an artifact card. All right, I'm assuming they're... Oh, they just drain us for 3 here. Wow, we just cannot find lands here. So we can Demolition Field. Now let's Price of Freedom the Monument plus Erode. Right, they have another land. Super awkward. Like, we just found lands here. We're totally fine. Played the same. That's... Wow. Yeah, to a PTQ one time and refused to ever give up a matchup to it again. Oh, we're getting combo killed here, aren't we? Has this targeted the creature? Exile target creature. When a creature put a... So now we can respond to this with the Erode. So blow up this mutt. And they have the protection, so we're dead. All right. I think you could run a third. Wow, we cannot draw lands today. All right, we'll keep this. Let's go... Oh man, this is super greedy. Let's put Fiery Impulse to the bottom. Lava Glide Path. All right, we're against Is It. I've been really liking this matchup. What an emote. All not going to. So they have a. It'll quench ya. They wouldn't have shocked in this. Oh, what is going on here? Let's go after Steam Vents first. I love the Sparky. Yeah. Let's see if they have an accumulated wisdom to go with this. Oh, they get basic mountain and they make a little might. All right, so this turn we can go Field of Ruin on the Mirex. Get a basic mountain. All right, they have second mountain, and let's go Cleansing Wildfire on tapped mountain. Untapped mountain. They don't have anything for double reds, so I love the Sparky and Karn sitting on. Yeah, pool floating. Wow, what is? They have 3 mountains. All right, we're. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, was not expecting that. I thought this was just standard, is it? We are against creativity, actually. All right, they get a Spell Pierce. Are we just dead to this Atraxa? We need to find find an erode. So we have 2 draws this turn. Or no, we can only draw 1 time. Yeah, I if this was open deck lists, we would have been fine here. Oh, and they don't have basic island to get. All right, let's go get our second basic planes here. All right, so they have 1, 2, 3 islands. I misplayed this game super hard by killing the Steam Vents instead of the Mirex. Oh, let's go. It's too easy. Let's go. Sometimes the deck cooperates. All right, they have a Fable. All right, so we can Price of Freedom, Verge, Igneous Inspiration. Yeah. Igneous Inspiration, the Goblin, and then get. Yeah, I like that. We'll get the big lesson with this. Grab Improvisation Capstone. Get rid of this Verge. And they concede. All right. Whew. Never didn't have it. Okay, against. Is it creativity on the Atraxa plan? What are we bringing in? Rest in Peace doesn't do anything. If they were on the Gear Hulk plan, we would have brought in Rest in Peace. But against this Atraxa package, I don't think it's worth it. Alpine Moon doesn't do anything. Beza doesn't do anything. Light of Hope doesn't do anything. All right, I guess we're clicking resubmit. This kills their enchantments. Yo, Grafdigger's Cage would go crazy right now. I think this is a pretty solid matchup though. Now that we know what they're on. Oh yeah, and they only had 3 mountains, so this hand just can go crazy. Yeah, so there was a creativity list. It was on Gear Hulks that top 8'd an MTGO challenge over the on Thursday. All right, let's go. Oh, and they drew a basic mountain. All right, they're cooked. We'll pass. Don't want to give them any extra mana. All right, they go with a stock up. And so I was expecting this to be the Gear Hulk version, but it is just the Atraxa version. Hard to say which one's better. Let's go after the Canal here. This pathway doesn't help them cast Indomitable Creativity at all. We have one basic Plains already, so we can get Mountain. All right, we draw the Igneous Inspiration. Nothing in the graveyard for flashback. So we can just go Sundown Pass and Cleansing Wildfire, Untapped Mountain. Yeah, this one, it's much higher variance. I've played both of them. I hate. Oh, and they have Third Mountain in their hand. Does this do anything against us? Does this stop Learn? Judge, does this stop the search on Learn? The thing that I don't like about this version of the deck, though, is you... All right, we're just going to play a Hellkite. If you draw any of your creativity targets, it just feels so bad. You have to wait then until you get one of the like instants that puts it on the bottom of your deck in order to do anything again. All right, so now we just attack Ashiok here, and let's get Tablet down. So attack Ashiok, and yeah, let's go play Tablet, see what we mill. Do they have a Spell Pierce here? That's a little bit awkward. Okay. They have a Spell Pierce, so we will just follow this up. Blow up River Glide pathway. Hit them with the Nice. And yeah, they're pretty dead. Get in for 4. We're going to just flashback. Kill another mountain. Oh, and we can actually just... Oh, no, we don't have another... All right, so we are flashback flooded. Let's just do 3 to them. Get the capstone and pass. And we are capstoning next turn. They concede. All right. Pretty easy matchup, I think. That is something that I'd like to test a little bit and see how it ends up working. All right, we're on the play here. Double Sundown Pass is not great, but on the play it's a lot less of a big deal. Oh, is this the same opponent? They use that same emote. I think this is the same guy. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is the same. Oh. Brutal. Yeah, this is... I'm sorry, guy. Nebulator. Oh, and they drew a basic mountain. Oh, I feel so bad. All right, go to end step. Blow up the canal. And get a basic basic mountain. And kill this goblin. All right, let's play Tablet of Discovery here. See what we mill. Right, we mill a Sunken Ruin. There's no way they can get an artifact into play plus cast Creativity this turn, so we can pretty safely take a turn off and just Cleansing Wildfire this basic mountain And this will be their third mountain. So our erodes and any future Field of Ruins are now just strip mines. Discard double spell pierce. I wish there was a sorry emote. All right, they draw the Murex so they can make a guy off of that. So we need to leave up this fiery impulse. Let's play Sundown Pass. And like I was saying in the deck tech, I love this, the tablet playing so well with the Ingenious inscription. So we can now just go 3 to them, get the capstone, leave up double removal spell. Oh, that's a big score. A little bit harder to interact with the treasures. Oh, is that how that works? That if they say oops, then it unlocks the sorry. Okay, so they're getting 2 creatures here. We can kill Reflection of Kiki-Jiki and then erode whatever they get. Let's turn full control on so they don't. All right, they just get Atraxa. Blow up this Atraxa. And they're out of mountains. They can get Deduce, Land, Ralph and Mikey, second Indomitable Creativity. All right, this was a pretty decent Atraxa. All right, they put the Ralph and Mikey back in the deck. Put up, okay. I think we just fire off the... We've fallen a little bit behind. Can we die to Ralph and Mikey? Oh, we can't read it. Okay. I don't... Even if we Hellkite this... Okay, so they play land. No, so Hellkite does stop us from dying to, like, deduce into creativity. So let's blow up the Spire Bluff Canal. It's not the fun line. This is definitely the fun card, but this is the right play. Oh, put up a fairies list, blue-black fairies. Awesome. Yeah, I'll check it out after. No, don't destroy our tablet. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're still a land away from the capstone. All right, we find it. We're gonna do the responsible thing and go after their lands again. Get basic planes. Next turn. So do we... The safest play here is to just fire off Ultima. Destroy this treasure. I think there's almost no way we lose if we do that. So let's just fire this off. Destroy treasure. Turn off this creativity. And then just plan to cast this capstone. All right. Awesome. Do this. So they actually do get to... If they top deck a land, they can cast creativity next turn. Let's go after Mountain. Lightning Helix their face. All right, so they make a 1/1. We just find another land. All right. Okay, they find the land, so they get to creativity and they get the Ralph and Mikey. Let's... Oh, no. Okay, so they get Valagath. Uh-oh. We might lose to this guy. All right, we get... What are they at? They're at 8. We don't have anything that does direct damage. Does this have lifelink? This has lifelink and super ward. Yikes, okay. So we'll do 3 damage to them. We can't discard lands here. So we'll have 1 tablet, 2 tablets. Yeah, uh-oh. I think we're just going after their lands. 1 tablet, 2 tablets. None of these make a permanent that we can sacrifice. So yeah, let's just go after their lands. Okay, we find a magmatic Hellkite. So we can cast this Hellkite. Destroy Verge. This stops our tablet. I see. So let's go Price of Freedom on Mountain. Okay, we find an Erode. So let's play this tablet. Oh, okay. So now we can erode and sacrifice these 3 permanents. Okay. All right, sacrifice these 3. We found the line. Top decking the erode was pretty lucky. But now I don't think there's a way we lose from here. All right, they find Steam Vents. All right, we find a Field of Ruin to answer it. We get to Capstone again. Oh man, this card's so awesome. Oh. All right. Yeah, and we will cast 2 land. That's exactly what I imagined when we put the Capstone in this deck. Oh, so sweet. All right, same thing. None of our sideboard cards really do much in this matchup. So let's just click submit. All right, let's take a look at... Is there any way... I'm seeing blue-white tempo. Where is... All right. Opponent is taking a mulligan. This hand's fine. Opponent's on a mulligan to 5. We'll name red with this first Citadel. All right, finding a Sacred Foundry is nice here. All right, name red. In turn 2, we can start blowing up lands. All right, let's go Cleansing Wildfire. Do they have the Spell Pierce here? Or just a Deduce? All right, we are good to go on lands. All right, they have a Fable. We have an answer to that. This lets us get... Yeah, no way we can double spell this turn, so we can just get this second Sunken Citadel down. And let's just pass. Would love to draw any of our Field of Ruin or Demolition field effects. They discard a Creativity. All right, I don't love that they have this Mirex. This guarantees that they can get a creature for creativity next turn. But they'll have 5 mana so they can creativity X2. So, all right, we're just going to have to cast our Hellkite here and cross our fingers. All right, so blow up the Mirex. They get a 1/1. Notably, this land comes into play with a stun counter on it, so they have to have land plus creativity, and then they get to get 1 creature. Oh, they have tap land. All right. We get bailed out. All right, so we can go double Price of Freedom this turn. That puts them, they have 1 mountain left, so they'll be at 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we just need to wipe the board this turn. All right. Get in for 4. And let's get one of these quarry mountains down. Sorry, I am looking for this list. Goldfish's website. Oh, okay. That's really bad. Never seen this card before. All right. Are we dying? Like, I found your other lists, but they don't, I can't click on your username. All right, what's happening in here? Oh, wow. I click away for 1 second and we die. All right. Yikes. I don't think there was anything we could have done differently there. They had the counter spell when they needed it. All right, let's click submit. User submitted decks. My decks created. Should be here. Advanced search options. Ah, player. Here we go. But then nothing shows up. All right, on the play. All right, this is double land destruction spell plus an erode. See what our opponent was on a mulligan to 5 that last match too. They're thinking. They keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, they keep 7. We will start the blowing up of the blue sources. All right, we have a really nice curve here. All right, we will play into Spell Pierce here. There's no way we can play around a Spell Pierce, so. Honestly, let's go after the red. All right, they have this Ashiok again, but this really doesn't do anything against us. It's like a little annoying against our flashbacks, but would love a land here. We do not find a land. So let's just keep going after their red sources. All right, so they're down to... They have 1 mountain left. Yeah, this Ashiok really... Uh-oh, they drew their 4th mountain. That's not great for them. All right, so we will... start going after their mountains. They float a red. Not sure what that means. We draw a demolition field, but we've already played a land for this turn. All right, they discard a Sokenzon. But we have an erode for those. All right. And they're just, yeah. I don't agree with bringing in random Ashioks in matchups like this. They just tapped out on turn 3 to not really do much. All right, we will take 2. And kill one of these spirits. All right, let's demolition field, blue source. All right, they Prismari command, make a treasure, draw 2, discard 2. Discard. All right, they discard their Atraxa. And oh, I guess that's a little bit cute. We don't get to get a land off of. I didn't realize that, but I still don't think this is worth bringing in. All right. Let's just pass, leave up this erode. Tried posting again. Okay, yeah, I'll take, once I finish this game, I'll take a look and mess around with Goldfish's website a little bit. All right, they do have the land here. All right, they target treasure. See what they get here. Uh-oh, that was what we needed to dodge. All right, we'll take 1. And we can blow up Ashiok now. Notably, we're down to 29 cards, but all right. Wipe the board. Next turn, if we draw a land, all right, they're fighting. So we can go Hellkite, blow up this Steam Vents. Or we can go, let's go Tablet first, see what we mill here. All right, we mill a Hellkite. That's not castable. Blow up Steam Vents. All right, drawing Field of Ruins, nice here. Blow up Steam Vents. All right, this is our last mountain. All right, I think we got this one now. Ooh, match 2 was a lot closer than match number 1. I don't think we've won just yet, but we're in a great position. Convoke is underutilized. I agree. I think there is and that probably wraps it up. I think that there's space in Pioneer for a mono white Convoke list. All right, opponent concedes. We can now mess around with Goldfish's website for a second. Did you have fun in the match? Yes, I did. It just wiped the graveyard here. That wiped the graveyard are super good in Pioneer right now. All right, this hand is great. And opponent is on a mulligan. Opponent's on 6. Oh, blue-white control. This is a matchup I've been wanting to test. All right, they play Hall of the Storm Giants. Well, let's just start the destroying of lands. I choose this 1-drop over the new cursed for the draw on each creature. Yeah, is there a way to run both? It makes your Springleaf Drums a lot better. Let's just destroy the manlands first. Drawing double Field of Ruin effect in this matchup is really nice. Yeah, so now we get to go Demolition Field on the Meticulous Archive. All right, they get Basic Island. We'll get Basic Mountain. I think we're fine trading for a counterspell here. Let's go after the plains. This is likely getting no more lies. Yeah, but we're fine trading 1-for-1 here. They should have, most lists are on 3 basics. So we should be really close to killing all of them. Could cut the Mimic by 1 and Obra for 2. Oh, that's rude. We have answers to that, though. All right, let's go Tablet of Discovery. Mill a Price of Freedom. Price of Freedom, the Petrified Hamlet. And this is exactly what I was imagining with this. Mill one of our 2-mana sorceries and then can just immediately cast it. All right, so this is their second plains. Let's go tapped Sacred Foundry. Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking is, ooh, they have a tap or a kicked Consult the Star Charts. That's strong here. Is Springleaf Drum plays really well with 1-drops. I wonder if there is a way to like maybe lower the curve a little bit more. And all right, they're digging for a land here pretty heavily. They do find it. It's a Hollowed Fountain. So they're leaving up a No More Lies. Let's start to check how many basics they're on. Let's flash back this Price of Freedom. Because if you go up to 8 1-drops... Oh, but... Sorry, the Fakehurst Fairy doesn't tap 2. Springleaf Drum. So that synergy's not there. That does make it a bit worse. All right, does opponent... All right, they do have second island. We can't pay for No More Lies here. We're not in a big rush. And we can leave up double a road. They're likely trying to cast it to Fairy this turn. Ooh, an unkicked Consult the Star Charts. So they're... likely looking for a land. All right. Kill this to Fairy. 3-mana draw card. Not the best. Do they have... All right, so they're out of basics. We can start to destroy their lands pretty aggressively now. Glamour Might. Yeah, that's the you're a little bit more on the like tempo plan here. Okay, they all right, word. Wow, and they exile a card to march this too. We're super happy with that. All right, so we draw a flashback this turn. Oh, we sorry, our other. So let's go do 3 to them. Get Price of Freedom and Price of Freedom their land. I really don't want to pass doing nothing this turn. And yeah, let's get Price of Freedom. Go after. I guess it's just Hall at this point. I don't think there's any way we lose to that, but all right, and nice. We find a land. Would like these are dead cards. All right, they have another Teferi. We have another Erode. Oh, man, this hitting Planeswalkers is so nice. What is Glamourmite? It was originally in over. I need to. What does the bad Pestermite do? I don't know if I'm familiar. Okay, let's go after Hollowed Fountain. Is it just a more expensive Pestermite? All right, get our last planes and go to second main. Let's go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So let's go flashback on. So we get Igneous Inspiration here and go. No, I think it's a little too risky to go for the capstone here. We just can't beat a counterspell if we do that. All right, we just draw a land. We need to find a Quarry Mountain Monastery. Okay, we draw another flashback. So this time we will go for Igneous Inspiration on. Yeah. Let's go Igneous Inspiration. Do 3 to them. Oh, they haven't changed the equation. All right. Well, not thrilled about that, but it is nice to get that out of their hand. We need to draw something. Quarry Mountain Monastery is our best draw here by a pretty significant amount. Yeah, Fiery Impulse is not it. Looking for a Quarry Mountain Monastery. There's 2 of them in the deck. We're halfway through. All right, that's fine. We're the opponent has an Elspeth. That's not great. All right, we draw a flashback. So we just have to flashback for Erode onto Elspeth. I don't love that that's where we're at in this game. Go after Elspeth. Yeah, this field of... Oh, we actually... Quarry isn't great because they can just Field of Ruin it, so it's just a draw 1. All right. We're going to... So we can cast this. Do they have another change the equation? They do not. All right, we have this capstone. All right, They have a Wandering Emperor. 3 for 2 and a body, 2/2 body. Isn't that better than Pestermite? Because Pestermite's 3 for a 2/1. All right, we'll shoot off some of these fiery impulses. Odds of a no more lies is super high here. Oh, they go for a stock up looking for a no more lies. Once I saw Guardian was around, I made the switch off the old school game plan. Yeah, I do like this Glenalendra Guardian. It All right, they find a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I don't think we're beating a counterspell here. Oh, let's go. It resolves. Okay. Pretty sure we win now. That's crazy that this resolves. I was not expecting that. Let's go after their Field of Ruin. Blow up this samurai. They're get losting their samurai. Okay. If they want to spend all their mana mapping, we're okay with that. So destroy their Field of Ruin. Destroy the Wandering Emperor. And we're leaving up Lightning Helix. Are we just burning their face this game? We're out of flashbacks. All right, the question is who can deck themselves faster? But I think that we're just going to blow up all their lands over these next couple turns. All right, they map. They get a Field of Ruin. Sorry, how many more? 1 Igneous Inspiration, 2 Igneous Inspirations. I think 1 is countered. So we don't have, this puts them to 9. Sure, we'll just start firing these off at their face. All right, Field of Ruin's nice here. Casts Improvisation Capstone. All right, another Lightning Helix. Go after Sacred or Hollowed Fountain. Put them to 6. And let's go Field of Ruin this. We're out of basics. Opponent is also out of basics. Let's just clear the board out. Oh, they have a... Is this kicked? No. Oh, taps or untaps, 2 unbody, everything else the same. Cutting someone off their mana at upkeep, yeah. They did recover a bit in the mid game, but now that we have this paradigm down, oh man, they are fighting. All right, we'll capstone again. What are we doing here? I don't really want to just end our turn, so we won't cast Ultima. Sure, we will pay the 2. They get to Ancestral Recall. So we're at 17 cards. They're at 20 cards. Blow up their Field of Ruin. Okay, so let's look what we have left in the deck. We have 3 more ways to destroy their lands. We have 1 Igneous Inspiration and all 4 of our Magmatic Hellkites. So if we ever hit those Hellkites this game, I think we're in a pretty good spot. This Narset art is crazy. Uh-oh, that Get Lost is pretty good here. That answers 1 Hellkite. No. We don't need... All right, so no more Ultimas in the deck. They find and consult the star charts. We're fine with them just drawing cards here. All right, we find a tablet. Again, we're just looking for... We need 1 Hellkite to get in. All right, this is nice. Go after Hollowed Fountain plus Deserted Beach here. Oh, sorry. No, we want to be going after their basics. Because our Hellkites can deal with the rest of these non-basics. Looks like they have a Dovin's Veto. Oh, just a... Okay, Wandering Emperor is fine. All right, let's play the tablet. Again, we want to mill a Hellkite here. Just a Cleansing Wildfire. Again, with these, we're going after their basics. We're actually, like, super happy that this Narset is stopping us from drawing cards here. Because we would be decking ourselves. We're not dying to this Samurai. We can kill it. All right, Demolition Field can blow up. Okay, we finally find a Hellkite. What happens to the cards we don't cast? Oh, they just stay exiled? Yeah, we are running out of cards here. We have 3 Hellkites left. They haven't changed the equation. Let's go Demolition Field on Deserted Beach. Yeah, I think we're actually going to deck ourselves this game. A little bit brutal. We have... So our deck is... what a funny... Our deck is 3 Magmatic Hellkites and Igneous Inspiration. This match basically comes down to, can we get in 1 attack with a Magmatic Hellkite at any point in this game? I'm assuming they're just on a ton of counter spells. All right, so we draw a Hellkite. We need to hit a Hellkite with this. Not the... Okay, so we hit Magmatic Hellkite. We get to blow up deserted beach. Now we go to second main. They will get lost. The Hellkite here. Nothing we can do about that. Now we will play second Hellkite. Do they have a counterspell? We can pay for No More Lies. Oh, no counterspell. Go after the Verge. Oh, they have another removal spell. All right. Yeah, if... Not sure if... So next turn... Yeah, I think we're dead here. Kill this. So we draw this. Okay. So this will get our fourth Magmatic Hellkite. We blow up this, but then we die. So there's no way to give it haste. Yeah, I think we're just dead here. Man, we're one card short. Crazy match. Our library is empty. All right, they have a march. We blow up Otawara. Do 3 to them, but there is none of these. And yep, they have 12 cards left. All right. Crazy game. Bummer to lose that one, but what a game. All 4 Hellkites being in the... Or sorry, 3 of our 4 Hellkites being in the bottom of our deck was brutal there. All right. For sideboarding, Rest in Peace doesn't do anything. Light of Hope doesn't do anything. Beza doesn't do anything. All right. We have not sideboarded in a lot of our matches today. Man, that was a crazy match. And that was game 1. Oh boy. Now that I think about it, Beza's probably better than Fiery Impulse just because it's another creature that can attack. Yeah, if we get to go to game 3, we'll change that sideboarding a little bit. I want a cave opener. A bunch of Field of Ruins is good. Okay. We have double Field of Ruin plus answers to Teferi. We'll keep this. It's a little bit slow. I would have liked to see any of our Cleansing Wildfire effects, but it's pretty rough to mulligan in this matchup. Let's just pass. I'm thinking back in that game 1. Okay, this doesn't do anything. That's funny. We have Rest in Pieces too. Start the destruction of lands here. Does Rest in Peace turn this off? I'm not sure. All right, let's go. Just play this land. Let's pass again. We're going to take it a little bit slower this time and not play into any obvious counter spells. Now what? This art doesn't make any sense. It's Rest in Peace, and it's a bunch of people coming out of the graveyards. All right. Kind of unfortunate to draw our fourth basic land here. Let's just go 3 to them and learn. We're fine trading this for a counter spell. Yeah. Trading that for a change the equation is really nice. Okay, so they have one more planes as their basic lands. Their Soul's Moving On, maybe. Oh, I could see that it's like, yeah, the mage like cleansed all the ground, so now they can all rest in peace and not be zombies again, but all right, again, fine trading these for counter spells here. We've potentially our sideboard is not super good. I know, hard at a glance, yeah. All right, that's fine. All right, let's play this. Playing around counter spells here. Looks like they don't counterspell that. I think it's a little too early to go for the capstone. Let's get Price of Freedom, but let's just pass. There's no reason to play into a No More Lies here. All right, they cast a stock up. So between 4 Igneous Inspirations, that's 12 damage. And then 2 Lightning Helixes. We'll save this Lightning Helix. All right, let's go Price of Freedom on... I guess we can destroy this Hamlet. They're thinking they have another change the equation. Oh, a Narset's reversal. All right, that's brutal. Now we're the ones getting our lands destroyed. We drew all our basics, so they have another. All right, just a Dovin's Veto. Yeah, we're fine here just trading. All right, we get a Field of Ruin, and we can start the Okay, so they have basic planes in hand. All right, there's their basic plane. So they're out of basics now. They cast a stock up. We really just want another Igneous Inspiration now. We've gotten a ton of counter spells out of their hand. All right, let's play this tablet. See what we mill here. All right, Lightning Helix is... Okay, but we can Field of Root. Oh no, we don't have any basics left. Sure, we'll just shoot this off because... Oh, this is our white mana for the turn. Sure. We're not under any threat here. And the burn plan is pretty realistic. Yeah, we don't care about this at all. If they do plus on it, we'll kill it with Fiery Impulse, but... Alright, they find a Teferi. They plus, so we'll Fiery Impulse. So they get to plus up Teferi here. They have 5 mana open. We're not in a great spot here. We can answer both. Okay, this is good. Let's go Erode on Teferi. Let's go Lightning Helix on Wandering Emperor. Play Corey for turn, and let's pass and just start activating this Corey. We need to try and dig our way out of drawing all these removal spells. Still need to Trout stock up in Blue Eye Control. Pretty sure I want to stay on Behold the Multiverse on my 1 memory Deluge. I mean, I do see everybody playing stock up. I'm a memory deluge enjoyer though. Not even draw. Yeah. Okay. All right. We need Erode, not Fiery Impulse. All right. Activate Corey, get a Demolition Field. Yeah, this one's slipping fast. We'll play one more turn, but them getting to untap with this Teferi. They're at... Do they... They just find a March. All right, they March Tablet. Again, that's fine. Man, they find a Field of Ruin for our Corey. Yep. I think this one, we'll take one draw. If it's exactly Erode. Go Price of Freedom. All right. These blue-white decks, this hand is terrible. Oh, this hand is horrible too, but it's better than the average 5. In Erode, we trust. I think I've played against this guy before. That's not the land we wanted. We wanted an island. All right, they have a Thoughtseize. Yeah, Roku seem more consistent. Yeah, the more I play this version with the lessons, it is really sweet when we get to go off with the capstones, but oh, they pass. All right. Start the destruction of these lands. Yeah, Tablet plays It's a cool card, but oh, they're Jund. Oh, whoops! I didn't get red mana here. Let's fix that. So if we get red off of this, we can't flash back the Price of Freedom. Yeah, that was probably a mistake to get the second planes there. Yeah, Tablet is not playing as well as I wanted it to. It feels like we're having to hold it in hand a lot more than I was expecting it to. Where the thing that's nice about Reflection of Kikijiki and Legend of Roku is you can just slam them. Oh, we're against another creativity deck. Okay. So they get a swamp. We can play Sacred Foundry untapped here. Price of Freedom. Basic Swamp. Price of Freedom Blood Crypt. No, let's Price of Freedom. Price of Freedom Blood Crypt. And then we're leaving up Erode. Still, that sounds solid. So flashback on to Price of Freedom. Oh, all right. Good little. So it just ends up being a 1-for-1 there. This deck is cool from our opponent. I've played against it before. It's like a Jund Reanimator creativity package. All right, they get in for 2 with their Decayed Zombie. It's going to go away. They have an Urborg. All right. So they make a zombie off of this. Oh, no, they're returning this guy. Okay. Time to start checking for how many basics they have in the deck. We do just have this Ultima, so land is a live draw. They have a basic mountain. We don't find a land. Let's see if we find a land here. We don't, but we do find a Price of Freedom that we can cast. So Tablet actually looking pretty good here. And let's go Sundown Pass. We're going to take a hit from this guy. But next turn we can cast this Ultima. We'll make a white. Get our last basic mountain. Man, this Price of Freedom card's pretty good. See what they have here. All right, they play our Sacred Foundry. Don't love that. Create a. All right, so they're also learning. But this just gets wiped up too. All right, so they can destroy our tablet. They should do it now, though, and they don't. All right. Let's wipe the board. Oh my god, I didn't even read the second half of this. I just read the first part. Oh, so yeah, we're dead. Okay. Cool card. I haven't seen this lesson before. All right, against Rest in Peace in Light of Hope in Flashbacks out. Fiery Impulse out. Man, Fiery Impulse just does nothing, so we'll bring in the Beza. All right. I think this matchup is pretty fine. We had a super bad hand. But we're coming up on playing this deck for 2 hours, and I think the Legend of Roku version is probably better. As cool as resolving that capstone is, I think I got a little too lost in the sauce trying to find an answer to some of the super late game decks like Niv. Because that was what did lead me to wanting to try out the capstone was we played against Niv 2 times yesterday, and I wanted something that was a little bit better at going super late game. But I think we lost the ability to win quickly and have more pressure by cutting all of the. All right, Light of Hope actually looking nice here. All right. So this turn, let's play into Magmatic Hellkite on our turn. So let's just Fiery Impulse here. And play this, blow up the ridge. They do get to discard here, but they'll only have 3 mana next turn. Oh. And they have their basic swamp in hand. All right, I think we win this one. Wish we had Noble Hierarch and Birds of Paradise in Pioneer. So my only comment on that is green already has Llanowar Elves and Elvish Mystic, and black has Thoughtseize. So, and then what do red, white, and blue have? Just the cards that they have are so much worse. So I'd be a little bit hesitant to print 2 more crazy cards for green into the format and just leave red, blue, and white even farther behind. All right, this doesn't do anything. But we'll still kill it. Let's go tablet. All right, not casting that this turn. Let's get our inscription, or our capstone. We can cast it next turn if we draw a land. And we don't need to kill this devil, so. All right, we take 1. All right, they learn. What are they learning for? Oh, just a discard. All right. I mean, would love to have found a Rest in Peace. And we didn't even find a land here. I think we need to kill Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Get Price of Freedom. Price of Freedom Verge. And draw a land. And draw a land. And not draw a land. We'll stay back. Authority Consuls is great against green, but I want to see them and slowly get things to a point where Deathrite Shaman is better. Oh, that's right, Deathrite Shaman is legal in Pioneer, banned in Modern. I mean, look how many lands are in the graveyard. This Deathrite Shaman would be crazy this game. This card was cast from graveyard, exile it. Come on, where is our rest in peace? I think we're just capstoning this turn. Alternatively, yeah, just kill this. Beza doesn't do anything. Let's play the capstone. This is the saddest Hellkite. They can potentially reanimate something this turn, but we have an answer to this. They just have an Ob Nixilis. They get 2 Ob Nixili. They make a devil, and then we can discard something. No, we'll just take 2. That's fine. All right, what? That's a lot of erodes. Okay. They see the double erode and they pack it in. All right, we have our rest in pieces in. I was worried there for a second. Yeah, I don't think we need Alpine Moons. Yeah, we're still fine with no fiery impulses. Let's just click submit. If the rate of play in Pioneer can get consistently into mid game and not be done by turn 5, a bunch of deck builds become live. Yeah, Pioneer's always had the problem of like non-interactive combo decks being able to kill on like turn 3 and turn 4, and then that forces everything else. It forces the aggro decks to go super fast and just speeds the format up a lot. I would tend to agree that we've seen it in the past where they take a lot of action against these super fast combo decks. I think we're getting close to that again, where combo decks are too fast. Like games of Pioneer are consistently getting decided by we're gonna trust our deck here that it's gonna give us a land. Games are consistently getting decided, yeah, by turn 4, and I think that's a little bit faster than what Pioneer is supposed to be. All right, they have a Fable. All right, Demolition Field. Ugh, ew. So we can go Demolition Field onto Ridge. And leave up Erode. Let's go Demolition Field on the Haunted Ridge. And then we can get Rest in Peace into play next turn. We just have to hope that these erodes can keep us alive for 1 turn. Like, our opponent's deck is a perfect example where we've interacted with them twice and they're still potentially like threatening lethal on turn 4. They would have to ban a lot of cards though to significantly slow down Pioneer, so I'm not even sure if that's possible. All right, so they get, what does this do transformed? All right, so we can destroy this with the Light of Hope. So this is still an enchantment. Okay. So they get a land. Yeah, let's just blow this up with Light of Hope. Play this Corey. We can Demolition Field Stomping Ground here, get our second plains. They don't have anything dangerous in the graveyard. So I think I like just... Alternatively, we could... So they have one mountain left. So we could Price of Freedom. We could do the same thing this turn. They have nothing in the graveyard. Destroy Stomping Ground. Blow up Swamp. And then they have no black mana. They have black mana here, and it would come into play untapped. They have nothing that they can reanimate. Let's go pretty aggressive on the blow up their lands strategy. Oh, we got arena'd. Uh-oh. All right, well, we got auto-tapped. So let's leave up double erode. Should have paid attention to that. One. Don't love when that happens. Should have been paying closer attention. Oh, you might want to check the... Yeah, I was seeing that one with Monastery Mentor. All right, so they go for creativity here. So let's go one erode on Goblin Shaman. This should be their last. They should have no more basics. All right, they're out of basics. All right, they just... Atraxa super beatable here. So we will just untap an Ultima. See what they find. Wow, they get 5 cards. Thoughtseize. Yeah, I think we still... Yikes. Yeah, this was a good turn from them. I don't... We're just going to have to try and outgrind them. So they're discarding here. All right, they discard a Terra Sunder. So we can just cast Ultima. Alternatively, we can erode Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. Yeah, I don't love... I think we just have to Ultima here. We're going to get Thoughtseized. They take the Rest in Peace, potentially. All right, they have a Liliana's Death Majesty. All right, they have a Thoughtseize. They take the Erode, and then they get back Atraxa. Uh-oh. Yeah, we should have... Looking back, that turn that we got auto-tapped by Arena was really bad. They get a lot more cards. Okay. Let's start off with Price of Freedom on Haunted Ridge. Yeah, Sunken Citadel's gonna be a little slow here. So we play Beza. All right, finding another Ultima is good. So they have Thoughtseize. Okay. Yeah, we need another Erode. We cut the flashbacks. This makes a zombie. Yeah, I think we're actually going to lose to... Wow, they drew another Thoughtseize. Oldest ran Sidici's Faithful, Ephemerate, and Myth Realized. Forgot about... Oh, wow. All right, yeah, we misplayed this one a little bit. I was a little bit too confident. We got auto-tapped by Arena. Good game. Brutal to lose this one. I thought we had a pretty good matchup there. All right, I think I'm going to pivot back to the old Legend of Roku version of the